In this video, I'll be taking an example for the Gomory constraint or fractional cut method to solve integer programming problem. So we'll just quickly see what is integer programming problem. In the linear programming problem, we simply have optimize z equal to c transpose x subject to the constraint ax equal to b and x greater than equal to 0. There is no restriction on the decision variable, whether they have to be integral or rational. But in integer programming problem, we consider the same problem in addition with one more condition, that x size has to be integer. So when I say x size, so basically capital X can be written as x1 up till xn raised to power transpose. So if all the decision variable are integer, this is called pure IPP. If some are required as integer, then we'll call this as mixed integer programming problem. In my previous video, I have considered branch and bound method for solving integer programming problem, and this I have added in the description. I've also explained what is Gomory cut method or Gomory constraint method. So here I'll just add one more example corresponding to Gomory cut method. Now consider this problem. Here I want to find the optimal solution of the integer programming problem, and we can see that x size are greater than equal to 0. So here the first step towards the finding the solution is to solve the associated problem using the simplex method. So in the first step I've already solved. Find the optimal solution of the associated linear programming problem, which means we simply need to ignore or just drop in this condition that xi has to be integer. And since both of my constraint here in the problem are less than, so I've added two slack variable. In case there are some greater than sign, we can add surplus variable, and then we can involve big M and two-phase method. Now the optimal simplex table is obtained, and here we can see that x1 is not appearing in the basis, so x1 is 0. x2 is 7 by 4. s1 is also not appearing in the basis, so this is non-basic, and s2 which is 39 by 4. Now in this step number 2, we want to look for the Gomory constraint, or we will say we will construct the Gomory constraint. So let us say construct Gomory constraint, and we construct the Gomory constraint corresponding to the variable with the highest fractional value. Now if I look at 7 by 4, this is same as 1 plus 3 by 4. So this is integral part, this is integral part, this is fractional part. And here in S2, integral part is 9 plus 3 by 4. So this is integral part and this is fractional part. So we construct the Gomory constraint corresponding to which there is a maximum of F1 and F2. So we can see both of them are same in this question, 3 by 4, 3 by 4. So we can construct Gomory constraint corresponding to whichever basic variable. So now in this case, let's say I'm just constructing the Gomory constraint corresponding to S2. So here I will say construct Gomory constraint for S2 variable. Now we construct Gomory constraint for S2, and for this let's look at the formula xg1. This is Gomory slack variable, which is equal to minus of f2 plus f of 21 into x1 plus f of 22 into x2. These are the scalars, f of 21, f of 22, f of 23 and f of 21, and these are the fractional part corresponding to these which are appearing here, plus f of 24 s2. Now this we have already verified. This is minus 3 by 4 plus f of 21. Now you notice that this rational number is 7 by 2. So corresponding to 7 by 2, I can write this as 3 plus 1 by 2. So that means fractional part is only half. So we will write it half into x1 plus f of 22. This is already 0. So we can simply write 0 into x2 plus f of 23. This is minus 3 by 4. For minus 3 by 4, I will write this value as minus 1 plus 1 by 4. So we always want fractional part to be non-negative. This cannot be negative. So keep the negative part in the integral part, and fractional part has to be non-negative. So this will become 1 by 4 into S1 plus 1. So this is 1 into this, that means fractional part is 0 into S2. Now this is Gomory constraint. So xg1, or I may write xg1 equal to minus 3 by 4 plus 1 by 2 into x1 plus 1 by 4 into S1. Or we can write it as minus 3 by 4 plus half of x1 plus 1 by 4 s1 minus xg1 equal to 0, or we can write it as half of x1 plus 1 by 4 into s1 minus xg1 equal to 3 by 4. And now this I want to add as a constraint. So this is the new decision variable which will go in the table. So here I will do one more multiplication with the negative sign. So minus 1 by 4 s1 plus x times g1 equal to minus 3 by 4. So this is the final Gomory constraint that I will add in the optimal simplex table, and that is what we call addition of a constraint. So this is we done in the sensitivity analysis. So add this into this one. So that becomes step number 3. Add Gomory constraint into optimal simplex table. So when I add this into optimal simplex table, one row will increase and one column will also increase. So for the addition, we will have the basic variables. We will have x1, we have taken x1, x2, and then we have s1, s2 and xg1. So this will increase, and this is the solution part. In the decision variable, we can see that we already have x2, s2 in the simplex table. So we will have here x2, s2 and we will have xg1. Now we can read first the values from here. This is minus half, this is 0, this is minus 1 by 4, this is 0, this is 1 and minus 3 by 4. And keep the remaining entries from the previous tables. We get this, and we notice here that this is negative. So here we will apply dual simplex method. So we will apply dual simplex method. Because the current table is optimal, we see that zj minus cj is greater than or equal to 0, but it is not feasible. So we will apply dual simplex method. This will move out, and corresponding to this one, x1 variable will enter into the basis. So we will apply the entering criteria using the dual simplex method. And then in the next table, we see that this is feasible and we are already in the optimal. So that gives me the optimal table for the moment, but again I have to see whether this is integer or not. So again check the integer criteria, but we see that the x1 here is 3 by 2 and s2 is 9 by 2. So x1 is still not integer as we desired. So again construct the Gomory. So we'll continue with one more iteration. Find Gomory constraint again. So again the same procedure we will apply for the Gomory constraint as I've just done earlier. So we will look for the most fractional part corresponding to this one. Corresponding to this one, the fractional part, this is 9 by 2. So here we will have 4 plus half, and corresponding to this one which is 3 by 2, this is also 1 plus half. So here also fractional part is 1 by 2 and here also the fractional part is 1 by 2. So both of them are again same. So we want to find maximum of f1 or f2, corresponding to which we can construct the Gomory constraint. But again there is a tie, so we can construct again corresponding to the second one. Now if I again construct for the corresponding to next one, I'll just take another slack variable, then the fractional part for this with the negative sign, which means minus half, plus the fractional part corresponding to all these scalars, multiply with their corresponding decision variable. This is 1, so here the fractional part will not come. So we can write it as 0 into x1. This is already 0. So for this there is no fractional part. For this one, this is already half. This is already a fractional part. So half into s1. This is already 0. And then again this is already 0. So we have 0 into s2 plus 0 into xg1. Now this becomes the next Gomory constraint, xg2 minus half plus half of s1, or I can simply say minus of half of s1 plus xg2 equal to minus half. Now this constraint I have to add in the immediate previous table that I have obtained. So this will give us x1, x2, s1, s2, the first Gomory constraint, and we have added corresponding to Gomory slack variable x2. In the current basis, we can see from the last table, this is x2, s2, x1 is in the table, and then we have xg2 as well. Now let's first add the data corresponding to this one. There is no x1 variable here, there is no x2, and so we have to put 0 here. This is minus half. S2 xg1 is not there, this is 1, and then here we have minus half. The remaining entries I am going to write from the previous table in the same order. So this is 0, minus 5 by 2, 1 by 2, 0, 1, 0, 1, 7, minus 2, and this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 9 by 2, and then we got 3 by 2. And then we calculate this correspondingly to the CB. Now, because these are slack variables, so obviously their cost is 0, and x1, x2 is as what is given in our original problem. X1 is 1 and x2 is 4. So we calculate the Z row and we get this value as this. Now you can still see that this is still optimal. Zj minus Cj is still optimal. But again the feasibility criteria has disturbed. So again apply dual simplex method. So when we apply dual simplex method, the procedure is exactly same as we have just done. First remove the one with the most negative and then enter the Zj minus Cj with the scalar negative. So in this case you can see that there is only one scalar with the negative. So S1 has to enter into the basis. If S1 enters into the basis, we get the next table as, we get this as 1, 7, 1, 1. And here we see that all of them are integer. X1 is 1 and X2 is also 1. And the value for Z is 5. So we are interested in this integral solution. Now this completes our optimal solution for the integer programming problem. So this is essentially finding the optimal solution using simplex method and then apply the criteria of the post optimality analysis, means addition of a constraint, add a constraint in the same table, addition of a constraint which we did in the post optimality analysis, and then addition of a constraint disturb the feasibility conditions. So obviously we'll have to apply dual simplex method, and this iteration we have to repeat. And when I say addition of a constraint, now this constraint that we have added because of the integer programming problem is what was the Gomory's constraint, and that's the criteria. So this method works little slow, as we can see that we are involving so many methods. So branch and bound method is a comparatively faster, it converges faster towards the optimal solution, but still this is an option if you have more variable and if you want to apply the simplex method algorithm, then this is the procedure to find the optimal solution for integer programming problem.